Sue here, and I'm smoking my Tom Carell. It has proper English in it, which is a little harsh, uh, but I think that I'm not as I don't complain about the harshness because I'm pretty used to it. But I've heard a few people saying like 965 was harsh, and a few things like that. And I think it just depends upon what you're used to as to how you qualify that for harshness. They seem to find a lot of cigarette type of tobacco in it, and I just don't catch that. But I've never smoked cigarettes, so that could be why. This is a VR about. I'm sitting here on a cement slab here at Walman Park. Um, this is a VR about. I guess it would be who introduced you to tobacco, and you guys already know all my answers to all that. My daddy, my daddy, my daddy, and usually who's the first pipe, first tobacco? My daddy, my daddy, my daddy. But because he was asking about who actually taught you or who actually got you into smoking, you know, in my family, we go from the tobacco side and the briar side. Excuse me while I tap my pipe here, getting close to being empty. Um, my mom's family was on the tobacco side, and my dad's family, actually, his family, a lot of it originated over in Germany and in Poland. What the problem is most of my dad's family got wiped out in the 40s. And so he was lucky enough that his dad and grandfather did send a few of them on to the United States. And that is the only reason that it kind of protected our name, because the rest were wiped out. But we're at Woolman's Park, and so I thought I would explain that I don't have anyone who introduced me to tobacco because it's always been in my blood. It's in a cellular level. I mean, there's never been a time when there wasn't tobacco around. I mean, and as far as who introduced me to the tobacco, it would be my dad. And I mean, when we were kids, we would play in the fields of tobacco, and we would tie the big leaves as they were chopping them off around us for skirts. And we loved it when they pulled the flowers off, because they pull the flowers off of the tobacco plants when they start flowering so that they produce more leaves. So we always had these big wreaths of flowers, and it was just the white tobacco flowers. They aren't all that attractive, but when you put them all together, they get kind of neat. And so he taught me, but I want to tell you about how I got caught smoking when I shouldn't have been smoking when I was a kid. I still lit. I just wasn't puffing it enough. When you're talking, sometimes you can't keep your pipe going. Okay, so I had cousins. My dad had a lot of sisters, but no brothers, and so I had a lot of cousins. Big families, big farm families. And we were out in the field one day, and there was some of my cousins with me, some of my boy cousins, and they were trying to smoke a corncob pipe. Now this is on the side that is agriculture. This is they raised livestock and had farms. These were not tobacco farmers. These were the middle of Kansas guys. And so they had this corncob pipe that they had made, and still wet cob, so it wasn't going to be good anyway. But they didn't have any tobacco. So I went in, and I'm only like, I'd say 7 or 8. And I went in and I stole some of my dad's tobacco. And I took it out to them. Well, they were trying to get it loaded into that pipe. And by then, you got to realize I'd already been loading my dad's pipe for him for a few years. And so I knew how to load a pipe. But here they were just really screwing it up. And so I took their pipe away from them, and I cleaned out the middle a little bit more, put a little bit better of a drill hole in it, said, we can't use this as the stem, let's go get, and down by the water there was a bunch of reed type plants, and they actually had, a nice hollow reed that worked really well. And I loaded it up and I showed those boys how to smoke a pipe. And it was terrible because the sugars were still coming out of that cob. You know, it wasn't a dry cob. It was just, it was horrible. But, and those guys, they inhaled. They didn't know, you know, not to inhale. And I'm not going to tell them not to inhale because I'm a girl. I'm one of their silly girl cousins, you know. So it was kind of fun. But those boys got sick and I got told on. So I got in trouble, and at that point, you know, my dad said, look, what stays in our house stays in our house. You don't need to be going and showing these guys how to smoke any kind of tobacco until you're older. So I got in trouble, and my dad took away my pipe and my tobaccos that I'd been carrying around. Not smoking yet, because like I said, I'm still only about 8 or something. But he took away my little medical pipe and my tobacco and took it away for like 3 months. And even though I wasn't smoking and I wasn't addicted to the nicotine yet, I had gotten used to having that pipe to play with, to have something to do with my hands, and being in my pocket. So I learned, don't ever teach young guys how to smoke a pipe, because they'll tell on you, the little bastards. There's some more stories I could tell you about those horrible nephews and cousins and stuff, but that's for another CD or another video. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to take a little walk through Woolman's Park, which, like I say, is the outdoor aquatic center here for Leavenworth. And you'll notice I have on my shielded glasses, but I had to put a little bling on them. So let's go for a walk here at Woolman's, and I will just hold you up right now so you can kind of see where we're at right now. You'll see those benches in just a minute, and you'll see the big pine tree. So let's go for a walk. I got to finish up this pipe yet. So we're going to go for a walk here at Woolman's. And I was sitting right over there next to the big tree. And that's the front part of the park there. You would come in over there. This park has quite a bit of shelters on it and playgrounds, as you can see back over there. And the thing about these is a lot of times when we do things with the dogs and stuff here in Leavenworth, they actually have a swim day for the dogs. Heck, we let the dogs come swimming too. Wouldn't you like to be a dog in Leavenworth? So there's the park. And as you can see, there's all kinds of stuff going on. I don't want to catch somebody that doesn't want to be in the pictures. So, and then this is this is one of the main pavilions right there. And we're coming to the aquatic center. There again, it's just right back there's where I'm parked. That's the front part. See, and these are 2 or 3 little things. Looks like someone's out there with a metal detector. I think that's against the law, but I don't know. I'd have to read the booklets for that. And so there is our aquatic center. Now for years, my pipe's gurgling. For years I worked out here too. But I used to, I gradually started doing less and less here at the outdoor pool. And for a few times last year I had to come and I had to teach the water aerobics out here. And that's okay once in a while, but I don't like doing it real steady. Boy, that water in that pool is really pretty nasty looking, isn't it? I used to have to come out and clean that pool too. We'd have to drain it, and I was one of the people was down in there pulling out the sludge and the slime and the leaves and stuff like that. I still have a little bit left in my pipe, so I'm going to turn off the camera and I'm going to finish my walk. I'm going to take a walk around the park itself a couple times, and I have keys. I need to go into the building over there and double check that everything is safe. That's just one of the little things I offered to do while I was out here today. That's our community center pipe, or our aqua park. $4 a day if you're doing an individual thing, and it's like I say, it's a pretty nice park. Happy, happy, joy, joy. I'm hoping I can add this onto the VR that I had done earlier when we were talking about who introduced us to pipe smoking and who was the first one that, you know, I have to say that of all the things that you guys hear most about, you hear a lot about my dad. And it's really hard for me to not think of him when I'm smoking a pipe. And that could be because no kids to talk about, no grandkids to talk about. So I get to talk about my dad. I know you guys hear me talk about building a cake in my pipe all the time. This is my Tom Carell. I don't know if you can see that, but that has got to be building up the most beautiful cake in there. Of course, I need to wipe it down just a bit. But like I say, I am really enjoying the heck out of this pipe. It is perfect for my car. It sets on my dashboard when I'm doing things because it sits at that angle. It kind of ends up sitting upright. Isn't that the prettiest pipe? Happy, happy. Today I have cake. Okay, just so I do it one time. There's Bourbon Waller, Mike Murphy, level 18 leather. Ow, leather belt. Leon Moody, DSG Pipe Smoker, John Washington, Drew of the Shed, not Pipe Shed, but just Shed. So those are some of the new ones that are on right now. There are so many, but I did want to add those in. Some of them are still in their 20s. Some of them are getting close to 100. So we'll see more of these guys. They've all got videos up, though.